There she is.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited. I've been trying to calm down, but I'm talking with actress Jennifer Cheon Garcia. So, welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you for having me. You nailed it. You nailed
I
the
did
name.
good. People that listen to the show know that I always stress over names because I'm the worst. I'm the worst about it.
Okay, me
So,
too, but I
yeah.
really appreciate it.
Well, welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be here. What do you want to talk
Oh,
about?
I've got stuff. I've got stuff. But I always like to start here. So because I'm very curious. What got you started in entertainment? What made you want to become an actress?
Whew. I don't know. I guess trying to escape my reality was always something. It's funny. It's like I always loved playing any movie that I saw that had to do with swords or fighting or action or any of that stuff. I would just like go outside and try and emulate it. And then slowly turned it into a profession, thankfully. But there is moments that I'm at work holding a sword or something, and I'm just like fake blood on me, and I'm like, how did
Oh
this
no, you're in like if you're nerdy like me, you're in all the shows, all the nerdy shows you've been in.
happen?
So it must have paid off.
Oh, knock on wood.
So did you do theater in school?
I did. I
Yeah.
did, yeah. Just anything to do with performing. I started dancing at a really young age. My sister was a dancer and also a model, and so just watching her doing it. My brother did a lot of theater and community theater, and always loved writing, and that was always very much in our house. It's funny, they both became lawyers. They grew up and did the right thing, but I was still like I couldn't let it go. But I just love it.
Do you sing?
I do.
Oh,
Do,
very
yeah,
nice.
I
Very
do.
nice. Most people who do theater sing at least a little bit.
A little bit. And I
Yeah.
mean, like one of my favorite things to do in the world is karaoke. So
What's your song?
if it makes you happy, Cheryl Crow, I'll
Oh
belt
yeah, that's
that
a good
one
one.
out.
Yeah.
What else? There's Nancy Sinatra, Bang Bang.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
really
pretty
like
cool.
that
That's a great song.
one.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah. What about
So
you?
how about an instrument? Do
Do
you play
you
an instrument?
karaoke?
Oh no. You no. Listen. Listen. It's all I can do to talk on a podcast. Nobody wants to hear me sing. And it's rough because like every single person in my family has this unbelievable voice and it just skipped me. It's terrible.
You're being modest.
No,
Catch
no.
you in the shower. I'm sure you're just like
No, now truthfully, like I always enjoyed singing to the kids when they were younger and now I've got grandkids now, so I'm doing that with them,
you've got
so
grandkids.
I do. I've got 3 and I've got one on the way.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
Thank
And what is
you.
the
Yeah.
secret? My goodness, that glow. Is it those Diet Cokes? Because I need some.
It's the Diet Cokes. That's my
Love it.
secret. Everybody
You
says
heard
it's
it
bad
here,
for you.
kids.
It's preserving me. So I guess if I had a karaoke song, it would be Froggy Went a Courtin' because that's my go-to when I'm singing to the kids.
I love it. I love it.
So do you play an instrument?
I during the pandemic, I bought a keyboard and I was like, I'm gonna play the piano one day, and I can do a mean Jaws.
Oh, that's pretty good though.
Mean Jaws. I mean, yeah, and a little
Yeah.
ode to joy.
Oh, the joy. Perfect.
So no, I don't.
I had a couple. My poor aunt when I was just a kid tried to teach me how to play piano. So I did it for a couple years, and it like 2 years later, I was just as bad as I was to start with. And I finally gave it up. And I learned to like the little bit that I did learn, like I could still sit down and probably play. But it's just it's like the kid songs.
Well, they say that if you actually learn it, like it'll always stay with you. But
Yeah, it just never got any better.
No.
It should improve as you get older. It never did.
No. So it's still there. It makes me look cool if anyone comes over, but
So we should not look for the album to come out anytime soon.
no, I wouldn't. And if it does, have a lot of questions.
All right, so I have so much to talk to you about. I'm going to start here because this will be the one that you can tell me so little about. So I know that. So that's okay.
Okay.
Wheel of Time, my favorite book series all time. So I've
Really?
been all time. I started reading it. I mean, literally when it came out was when I started reading it. So
Wow.
obviously, I have a million questions that I'm not going to ask because I know you can't
Good,
tell it.
because
So
I've got a million answers that I can't give you.
can't give it. So I'm going to try to be very generic with what I ask. I'll do my best. We had Alexandre, who plays Tom in Wheel of Time, came on a few months back. He was terrific, and the same thing. I was very careful with what I asked, and he was still like extremely careful with what he gives. So that's okay, because like as a fan, I want to know everything, but I also want to be completely surprised. So, so let's start this way.
Managed to do that.
Have you read any of the books?
I'm actually, yes, I have. I didn't for the longest time, but I've been actually getting through them. I have a little bit of ADD, so not a little, a lot. And so getting through, I'm like one of those people that's reading like 8 books at once. And I like so happen to put it down and this one and then that one. So like everywhere, all over there's 3 in front of me that I can actually see. So and my husband
Well,
always
so
makes fun
which
of me.
book are you on?
The Hunt.
Oh, you're on The Great Hunt.
On the Great
Very
Hunt.
good. Very well. I'm guessing that should at least get you. That's far enough to get through season 1. I would assume, pretty close anyway. I'm assuming they're not going to go through half a dozen books, and although book 6 is called Lord of Chaos,
Yeah.
last 100 pages of book 6, best thing in the series, at least till the last book. It's my
Ooh.
favorite part of the series. So
Okay.
hopefully the show will get there at some point.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
I'm not saying what it is, but just
Okay.
last 100 pages, book 6.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm assuming you know the story, right? So Robert Jordan was writing them, and he passed away, but he knew he was passing away, so he took notes, like thousands
What
of pages
legacy
of
to
notes.
leave, huh?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. And then Brandon Sanderson steps in and doesn't miss a beat, and it's just unbelievable, unbelievable. Did you enjoy Eye of the World?
I did. I really
Yeah,
did. I really love going into those worlds, you know.
yeah.
Just sometimes my brain, like I said, I'll be reading it and then all of a sudden now I'm in Disneyland and then I'm back. Okay, okay, what happened? What happened? You know, they said dragon and now I'm thinking about like lizards and I'm like, pay attention, pay attention.
Focus.
Focus, focus. This is important.
So, all right, so I'm going to try to pronounce your character's name, because I'm really bad about when I read a book, I get it in my head a certain, like, this is how that character's name is pronounced, and then it never is right when they actually make it into something. So I'm going to
Yeah.
try. So you have to tell me if I'm
I
close.
actually made the mistake of talking about that before, and I promised them that I wouldn't say it again. So
Okay.
uh
That's so did you say it wrong? You're not going to say. All right. So I'm going to say it the way that I think it is.
I'm the keeper of the chronicles over here, you know.
That's
I
right.
gotta
You're the keeper of the chronicles. I'm going to say how I think it is, but you don't have to correct me. You,
Okay.
you offline, maybe you can give me a wink.
Okay. Okay.
So I think it's Liane. I think I'm at least close there, right? So she was always one. She was always in Sharif, something like that is how I would pronounce it. But she was always one of my favorite characters because she's the keeper to I'm going to say Swan is how I'm going to pronounce it. I used to say I used to say Suan, and a friend of mine said it's Swan. It's Swan. So I'm going to say Swan, who is another just outstanding character. So she's the keeper. So my question is, hopefully you can get it. Are we going to get Tar-Valon? Well, let me ask it this way, because Alexandra gave a little bit away.
Oh,
So,
okay.
not too much, but are the sets, which is where anybody that's in love with this series is really concerned about how it's going to be portrayed. Are the sets amazing?
The sets are incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible. And
awesome.
as an actor performing in such places, I mean, that's what really brings you to that moment, and really you can just play. The fact that we get to play in settings like that is just incredible. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
And if you are, then I don't know what to say.
At least you agreed to come on the show, which I so much appreciate. And the gentleman playing Rand, he said he'd come on the show, but he's afraid to do it now. So he's coming later. He's coming later because he's like, I will screw up and say something. Like, that's fair. That's fair.
He's such a cool kid, man. That whole cast, like that, I can say the diversity and just like, oh my God, the talent and the beauty that they all have. It's so dope to be a part of it. I can't wait till you guys meet them.
I'm so excited because just seeing the cast, they did a really good job casting, which isn't easy, from a book series, but they did a really good job. Like you are perfect in the role of the keeper.
Thank you.
So yeah, I was like, yes, nailed it.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you've got kind of a fantasy, sci-fi, superhero background. You've done all this stuff, and you just, I think Van Helsing just finished up its final season, right? Aired.
It actually comes out. It aired on Sci-Fi, but now Netflix will release it, and it does its like U.S. Release this Friday, actually.
Oh yeah, that's quick.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how some people will just watch it on Sci-Fi? Some people, they have no idea it's even on Sci-Fi. They just assume it's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
And just
watch either way, you're gonna get to it. And the good thing about Netflix too is you can binge it and you can just have a Van Helsing night.
I know, it's such a great, like, if you're nerdy, it's the best time right now because there's so much out there and so many different platforms, for all of these, elements that, when I was growing up, you couldn't get to any. We dreamed about seeing this stuff on TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what drew you to the character for Wheel of Time?
Wheel of Time?
Yeah.
I just love the fact that, she has that transition. And I love that. I can't I don't want to say too much, but
I know, because I know the transition. But I don't want to give it away to anybody that hadn't read the book. And that's part of the reason she's one of my favorite characters, because she has some ups and downs. Let's say it that way. She has some trials.
And don't we all,
She's a very complex character because, she has to adjust to the difficulties that she's facing and kind of come back from that, where a lot of people, it may have just defeated them and they'd have given up. She has to kind of get through that. And then she has a very integral role as the series goes on.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. See, I could be mean and just start, throw out collars and see what your reaction would be, but I won't do it.
Let's sip my Dr. Pepper again.
Sip on that Dr. Pepper. All right, so we'll move on from Wheel Time. But is Any idea? Because we haven't heard anything yet. Any idea on a release date?
No, I mean they did release that little teaser on
Yeah,
Instagram. I don't know if you saw it.
I
And
did.
it said 2021. So
That's really the only information we
oh yeah.
have.
No. They don't trust any of us with any information.
Well, yeah, talk about that a little bit. What was it like on set, and what kind of emphasis did they put on the secrecy? Was the scripts locked up? What kind of what'd you have to deal
We
with?
did get to go home with our scripts, which is so great because when
Yeah,
they lock them up and there's that much restriction around it, I find it makes my job a little bit more challenging because I like to get locked up with it and then
well,
go
yeah,
deep down inside. So I can only imagine like people like in Star Wars where you literally have to just go to one room and do, that work in there. And then I can only imagine how that would be like. And like my little role that I did on Star Trek when it was just on that one device, and if you move the cursor away from it, it would cloud up, and it definitely
that's
makes
kind of
yeah
cool.
it makes it challenging for sure. But no, thankfully we were able to go home with the scripts,
Okay,
and all the scripts have our names on it and stuff like
we
that, and we just have to sign an agreement that will
that some bozo on a podcast doesn't accidentally get you to say something accidentally on purpose.
call
So
yourself.
we had our good friend Nestor Carbonell, who I think you had an appearance on Bates Motel. All right, so he was on that, but he was also on Lost, and his character, he talked about that like they didn't have access to anybody else's lines, so he would have his lines to study, but he wouldn't have, he didn't know what he was saying it off of, if that
Wow.
makes sense, and it was causing him a lot of problems, and they finally had him come in, and that's what they did. They put him in a room. They said, "You've got 2 hours. Read it over, and then you're out." Because it was so tight on the security.
Wow.
Uh,
That's
So at least you got better than that.
him. I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully it's funny because I would love to be a part of a Star Wars, something like that. But then
How are you
not
not in a Star Wars yet?
yeah, that's a good question.
What
Disney,
are they waiting on?
we got a question.
There's like 15 shows now.
I have
Oh,
actually done the video game, so
oh, you
that's been
have.
something that I
Which
did.
one did you do?
For Star Wars, I got to do
Yeah.
some like C-3PO movement and some Jedi stuff and fighting. I think you
That's pretty
froze
cool.
though.
Well, am I back? Am I there?
Technical difficulties. Can you still
Hang
hear me
on.
though?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Yeah, that was weird because both of us were moving on my screen.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we're
Oh,
back now.
technology.
I
Which
tell you what.
billionaires up in space? Can they do something about this?
And here I was going to bat for you to see who I needed to talk to for Star Wars. You got to do one of the video games. So did you were you a Jedi?
I did do some Jedi training and lightsaber
Oh.
battles and stuff. I just love that stuff so much. Anytime that I get to do any sort of sword fighting, staff fighting, I am there.
Well, you've done that, right? You've done that on a few different shows.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to do that on Van Helsing, which was so much fun. And
I love your character on Van Helsing because it's like a vampire and there's a human and it's it's
many
talk about
layers.
complex. It's very layered. It was a leader. She was a leader. It was a very satisfying ending, I think, to the story. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah,
That means a lot.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
you're always
really good.
worried at how fans are gonna take it and if they liked it, but I was so happy that she got that kind of that send off and that wink to maybe the story not being finished and that hope.
It is. Yeah, spinoff.
Again, you gotta make some phone calls.
I gotta make some calls. I'm gonna have you so busy. But let's not mess up. I don't want to mess up the wheel of time. That's going to take some.
I'm ready. Let's do
That series needs to be on for a while, so we don't want to mess that up.
it.
Did you know that your character on Van Helsing, that it was going to, be more than just a couple of episodes? Did you know it was going to be a recurring character?
No, actually, at first I didn't know. At first,
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a couple of episodes, but then I ended up,
people
squeezing
loved
my
you.
way
You were
until
a
the
fan
ending.
favorite.
And then, yeah, she ended up living, and then it turned out to be a fan favorite, which
Yeah.
just means that the absolute world to me. And yeah, that's why I'm so glad that she. If you haven't seen it yet, then spoiler alert. But
Right.
I'm happy with the way, yeah, where her story came to.
Yeah, I was too. I thought it was really well done. That was such a fun show right from the beginning, and it just got better as it went along. I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm biased, but yeah.
It
I
probably had
do
nothing
agree
to do
with
with who
you.
showed up later. So you have made appearances on like all the superhero shows too, right? So let me think. Supergirl, yeah.
Yeah, married.
Arrow.
Yeah.
There was another one. I have to. Oh, Flash. You made an appearance on Flash too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Now we need you in your own role. We need you as a just as a regular on a show.
Well, might be happening.
Yeah, oh, really?
I don't know. This is a really productive
So
conversation.
what you're telling me is you might have an upcoming superhero role. It's possible.
I'm definitely putting it out there.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. How about this? Is it Marvel and or DC, or is it another company?
Another.
Ooh,
But having said that, a role that I would love to do is the Joker.
really? I would totally watch that.
Good, because I really want to do it.
You sit around and practice your Joker laugh.
Sometimes I just more connect to like maybe going a little. I mean, the thing about Joker is that I feel like there's some ivory vampire elements into there. I feel
See now
like I could
this.
go to some dark places,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
just
yeah.
like a safe environment to do so.
DC has what they call it Elseworlds, where it's like different versions of their characters. You could totally do that with the Joker because I don't think we've never gotten a female Joker.
Nope, I like to be the first.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I want something. I want a piece of that.
All
I'll,
right, let's
I'll
do
produce.
it.
I mean,
You got a lot of phone calls to make.
okay, yeah. I'm getting the phones are going to be burning up. I got it. Have you written a script for this yet?
Have I?
Yeah.
I have not.
All right. Yeah, I know people. See, I put myself through college. It's back in the '90s. I was a comic book store owner, so that's
Wow.
part of how this podcast got started. Me and my son wanted something where we could talk about all this nerdy stuff. But so I know people. I just need to get one of them to write it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like this idea.
I gotta get somebody to kind of mock it up. A little you know,
There you go. There
version
you
of
go.
you as the Joker. Why the Joker and not like Harley Quinn? Because most women would say I want to play Harley Quinn
Well, I kind of like to take like our iconically male roles
and flip
and
them.
put a twist onto it. Yeah, because I mean, why not? We all know. We know the origin of that story, and we've
Yeah,
seen so many other talented actors do it that I just think it would be really like it's time to maybe play around with it a little bit. I think
I'm
people want
game.
to see it. And I think that, I mean, and if they don't, then I'm sure they'll make it really clear on Twitter and then we'll learn our mistake. But
No, I'm
but
game. I think that's
why
terrific.
not? Why not break those barriers and play with it a bit? And
Would
we'll
would
always
you
have
have
your
a Harley Quinn that's a man?
maybe,
Oh, maybe.
maybe, maybe.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm on board with it. You know, my son Brett is I've got dad goggles, but I just think he's the best writer, and
Oh,
I'm gonna put him on it. I'm gonna be like, write it up.
there
We're
you
gonna get
go. Let's do it.
it. Yeah. Female Joker. We want it dark. Yeah.
Put some fun.
Well, you got to have some comedy in there. You
Gotta
don't
have
want
some comedy. It's the Joker.
Joker. It's Joker. It's dark humor. Yeah, I I like that a lot. What has drawn you to the comic book shows? Is that just kind of been happenstance, or are you intentionally trying to,
I
kind of
guess
go through it?
it's a little bit of both. I mean, I've always wanted to be a part of it, so I'm really glad that that's the direction that my career has gone, and
Yeah,
hopefully continues to go. But it kind of, I mean, I'm a very tall woman. I
yeah,
have a martial arts background. It kind of marries together.
yeah.
So
What's your martial art?
right now I am going towards my second degree black belt in Taekwondo, but
Very
I also
nice.
train in Muay Thai and in boxing, and yeah,
Everybody loves that Muay Thai now. That's very popular now.
that kick, it's
Yeah, I
that
think that's it. I think that's it.
and those
But
knees.
do you do most of your own stunts?
Yeah, so far I've
Yeah,
done most of my own stunts. Yeah, like on the 100
yeah.
and Supergirl, I did have a double, but I did do a lot of it on my own. But she was there to help me look good. And
Who was your role on
Van
Supergirl?
Helsing was on me.
Oh, there was a lot of stunts in Van Helsing.
Yeah, Van Helsing, I got to do all my stuff.
Did you get to ride a horse in Van Helsing?
No, no horse riding in
I
Van
was trying to
Helsing.
think, but yeah.
No, but that's on my bucket list, my wish list is to do some stunts on a horse.
Yeah.
That's also why I would love to play Zorro or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Oh. All right. Joker and Zorro. That's I can say you're the first person on this show that has ever said they want to play the Joker and Zorro. Are you not going to get to ride a horse in Wheel of Time? All right.
As the keeper of the chronicles, I take my job serious.
Well, I will say there are a lot of horses in the books.
There is a lot of horses.
A lot of horses.
And if it doesn't happen, no.
Oh, let me ask you this one. I thought of one that you can just give me a yes or no. Will we be happy with the Trollocs?
With the trolley.
Are the monsters in the show well done?
Honestly, in my opinion,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just in
Which
my
I
opinion, just in my
there's they have some of the best, scariest, type of creatures from the books. So yeah, that'd be very exciting.
I can't wait.
I know.
I
I
can't
can't hear.
wait.
You got to come back when we can actually talk about it.
That's what I was gonna say. When it
Have
comes to
to.
release, we got to do this again so then we
Oh
can
yeah, oh
actually
yeah.
have a
That's a
conversation
that's
about
a done deal. That's a done deal. That's a
it.
done deal. You were also on Supernatural. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah,
yeah,
I had a little episode on that.
you had a little episode.
That
So
was a
you
pretty
popped up
big
on
show.
everything. Oh yeah, it was on for
I'm
like
trying to
20 years.
keep my way and keep relevant.
Yeah, I'd watch that too. If you were in a kind of a supernatural mystery type show, I'd watch that. You could do that.
Make some phone calls.
I know. I know. I need to just. I'm gonna help you out. You're gonna be
Okay,
too busy.
perfect.
You're not gonna have much free time.
That's all right. I'm tired of waiting. This pandemic. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, so you're on. I'll just start. You were on the 100. You made an appearance on Colony.
I did.
I'm forgetting one. Oh, the Minority Report. show.
Yeah.
You were Andromeda on there.
Yes, I was.
That's what I said. You've been on like all the nerd shows. You were even on Fringe. Weren't you on Fringe or had an appearance?
Yeah. That was
I
one of
love
my
that
first
show.
gigs. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's hard to believe, but that's been a while since that show was out. It seems like it just came out, but it's actually been several years ago. You probably were just getting
Time
started.
flies by.
It's unbelievable. So okay. So here I'll get off the nerd stuff briefly. Um, this is a question from my oldest daughter. So my oldest daughter's question for you is: are we going to see you in any more Christmas movies?
Oh, well, never say never.
She
Never say
um she has seen like all of them. She starts watching literally the day after Halloween, and watches till
I'll
Christmas.
even just like the malls, huh? Like that changeover.
Oh yeah, it's that fast. She's ready to go, and she'll start watching it. So I never know. So I catch movies here and there. There's always some Christmas movie on during the holidays,
Oh,
but
definitely.
but she said you've been in a couple of them. She's seen you because I always
Yeah.
I always go and I show the kids. I'm like, this is who I'm talking to. Have you seen them anything? But I don't tell them anything. And she's like, she's been in a couple Christmas shows.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I mean, never say never. I love Christmas.
Me too.
Who
Me too.
doesn't like some rum eggnog? I mean,
Oh my gosh. You know, there's a gingerbread eggnog that came out years ago. It was the best tasting stuff, and my daughter and I look for that every year. We cannot find this stuff.
I
Gingerbread
wonder
eggnog.
why it went away. Why do they
I
always
don't
do that? So is it take away all the good, yummy stuff?
know. It's so good, but I'm with you. For me, it's like a spiced rum with the eggnog. I like
Mm-hmm.
spice.
Oh, hands down. Yeah. Agreed.
See now here's the plan. So Wheel of Time, it's probably going to come out sometime closer to the end of the year, holiday season. So next time when we talk, we'll have to bring our eggnog.
I love that idea.
That's the plan.
I'm
Oh,
down.
you played Midnight on Supergirl. I remember now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're really good at that. That was good.
Thank you.
When you were growing up, what did you dress as for Halloween?
What do you mean grow up? I still do that.
Yeah, but you
I
also
don't
do it for
understand
work.
the question. And I mean, that was my favorite day of the year, still is, but that growing up, that was my favorite day of the year because it was the one day that people weren't judging me for walking around in a costume because I was always dressing up. I always had a cape on or had wooden spikes in my belt because I was being Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something, or running around in like a long black trench coat trying to be Trinity or Neo in the Matrix. And
Nice.
actually, I might have been in high school when that movie came out. So
They're making a
I
new
was
one.
a grown person doing that.
You were
So
one of those kids that's still trick or treating when they're obviously too old to be doing that.
no, I was too tall. I never got away with that.
I know you probably had to quit when you were like 10.
It definitely was like I had to have my parent to be my mom be like, no, she's only 10 years old.
Did you
And
play sports?
I don't know.
Were you a basketball player or volleyball?
I did volleyball.
Yeah.
I did volleyball. Yeah.
Was that because you wanted to, or they were like, you're way too tall not to play something?
No, I actually really liked it. I really liked it.
Pretty
First it was
active.
basketball, and then I switched schools in elementary school, and that school didn't have a basketball team for girls. So that's how I ended up playing volleyball, and then kind of lost my b-ball skills a bit, but I'm trying to pick them back up. I'm trying to trying to get my game back, but it's not. No, volleyball is way better.
Yeah, volleyball is a good sport. They never had it for the boys. Like when I was growing up, there was no boys volleyball.
Oh, it's the best
It didn't
thing.
seem fair. Yeah, that's the best. Although I'm short, you can't tell in here, but I'm like I don't know 5'9", so I'm fairly short. So
that's pretty good though. Can you jump?
Well, back then I could jump a little bit. Now I couldn't. I couldn't probably reach over the net now. Back then, I might be.
Now nice set.
Yeah, I could set. I could set. I could serve a little bit.
Well, that's good. That's important. That's very important.
Well, our keeper, she's tall.
She
Tall and
is.
thin. That's how she's described.
She is.
Yeah.
Hope the fans don't mind. I'm a little more muscly and I sometimes get worried, but
No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I guess she is pretty kind of rail thin in the description, but I think
But I
we're okay.
always feel
We'll
like
allow
that
it.
kind of depends on perception, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I look and you're just, I don't even know sometimes how I look like, but it is what it is. Whenever you're like the person looking
Yeah.
up in the mirror, you see something so different than what other people see. So now I'm like, I give up. You say I'm that awesome. I
Are
just
they
want to
allowing you?
whatever that looks like.
Are they allowing you some leeway in how you're interpreting that role, or is it this is how we want it?
I think with every role in general, it's a creative.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming together and everyone works together and trying to.
Yeah.
I can't say too much.
It's a process. I was trying to give you questions that don't need specifics.
But
You could do like Alexandra. He would just say yes or no, but it would never be in context. So it wouldn't give me anything. I was like, okay. I did get out of it that he gets to because he's playing a Gleeman, and he did admit that he does get to sing and play an instrument a little bit. So I got that out of it.
you got that out of him.
So
Okay.
I was pretty proud of myself for that one.
You know what? From now on, I'll just answer with his answers.
He just blank and just
I'll be like, Gleeman's play an instrument. And that's just how I'm going to start answering. With
how
all
are
of
they?
it.
I'm so curious because there's like 500 characters in the books.
It is a luscious world. It's
I know. How are they going to do that? There's so many.
Incredible.
I wonder, and I know you can't say, but like Game of Thrones, they combined characters. So you have one person that was kind of a combination of a couple of.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Did you?
I did not.
You didn't like it?
Well, I'll tell you why. Have you read the books?
I haven't read the books.
Okay. So that was no. So Game of Thrones, probably my next favorite series. I love the first 3 books in it. Just amazing work. So I was so excited, but as as a book reader, you could kind of tell when they passed the source material. I know they had notes and they had kind of his direction, but they didn't have his words. Yeah. And you kind of tell it. And I thought it wasn't that the ending was terrible. I just don't think it was as good as the initial seasons. I think they kind of rushed the last season. That's how I kind of felt.
I feel like it was a lot to pack in.
Yeah, it was a lot. They only did like 6 episodes.
Pardon me?
They only did like 6 episodes in that last season, and it just seemed like it was like Daenerys, her kind of heel turn. It was quick. I mean, it was kind of. I mean, they hinted a little at it, but it was quick. It was pretty quick. So I don't know. I love Game of Thrones. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay, but I was a little disappointed that they rushed it. Yeah. But it sounds like you liked it.
Thing that they were trying to give you like some like really, really big episode, like smaller episodes, but bigger. Yeah. But maybe, spreading it out would have been a little bit better.
Whoa. I think they changed television. I mean, if it wasn't for Game of Thrones, I don't know if you'd have Wheel of Time in some of those shows.
They really did. I mean? It really did.
They showed that you can do it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good thing. I love that their casting was perfect. I mean, I love their actors. So good. Oh, it was just It just felt a little rushed to me. And and
A
and,
lot.
and really I'm upset with George. You know, because poor George, he's writing these books. He's thinking, there's no way I don't finish this series before the end of the show. And then he gets stuck. He just gets stuck. And
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Right.
I'm interested to see when he actually finishes the books, what direction he takes it in, because I'm assuming he'll make it a little different.
Yeah,
We'll see.
that'll be fun. And then maybe they'll do a little reboot, and then we'll see something else.
Yeah, I think we're getting a prequel.
I feel like they drop like a little teaser about
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So that's kind of
Maybe
exciting.
there's a lot of good material coming out.
Oh my gosh! And Lord of the Rings is coming out. It's just
So
huh?
many. You're gonna be
There's
busy.
so much for you to do, but I'm the one that's going to be busy because I'm going to have to hook it all up. Tell me about. I know we got to wrap up. So I remember this show that was like a girl mystery show. Does that sound familiar?
A girl mystery show
Like a girl mystery show, and I
that I
swear
was on.
you were on. I'm going from memory, but I think
Mystery
it was
show,
like
mystery show, mystery show. I've done
I wanted to say like
oh geez.
something Dean Mystery, something like that. Does that sound familiar?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Been a while.
It's that's been that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
What was
I
it
I,
called?
I remember seeing it though, but I think looking back I mean it could have may have no because that was probably before Fringe. It was that was probably the
No,
first
definitely
time.
after Fringe. It was probably
Okay.
about
Well, then Fringe would have I would have was
7
probably
years ago, probably.
yeah. Okay, that's a little sooner than I was thinking, but yeah, that's probably right.
Somewhere around there for sure. Because
Yeah,
Fringe was one of like my first
yeah,
mainstream.
that's probably the first thing I've seen you in was Fringe, and then you were in. I loved you in the 100. That was too quick.
Way too quick.
It was way too quick. That
That was
show
a
was
lot of fun
that
though.
show was underrated. It was so good.
It was a lot of fun. It
Yeah,
really was.
and everybody on there is a badass.
That's true.
I'm like everybody.
It's true. It's probably one of the fittest casts I've ever been
Oh
part
my
of.
god, that had to be intimidating. I mean, you're in good shape, but that had to be intimidating. You go in and it's like everybody's in good shape.
Oh yeah. And you're just like, oh come on, keep
Yeah,
it together.
I got to hit the gym a little extra before I go
Yeah,
on that show.
definitely.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for doing this. This has just been the best. I'm gonna hold you to it. You have to come back when we can talk more.
Piggy swear.
Okay. So before I let you go, you hinted that you've got a role in a superhero show or something like that. Is there anything else that we can kind of keep an eye out for that you've got upcoming?
Well, gotta look out for that Van Helsing on Netflix coming out
Yeah,
Friday on July
those of you
16th,
that
depending on when.
missed it on sci-fi.
Mhm.
You
And
punk.
yeah, I got a couple of little indie projects that are gonna be coming out.
Oh,
So
that's exciting.
if
Comedy,
you're interested,
drama.
come find me on Instagram, and then you'll know exactly when
Yeah,
those things will be released and
yeah, I
stuff.
found you on here. Are they? What's the genre?
Genre fantasy
Oh,
sci-fi
shocker.
in there, action, yeah,
We
all the
need
good
to
stuff.
we need to get you in a comedy too, though.
I agree.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
agree.
we can count our Joker project as comedy.
Unless you got some dark humor.
Some dark humor. I don't know if you've seen the Harley Quinn cartoon that's on HBO now, because
No, I
it's
haven't seen that one.
you should check that one out because it has a Joker on there too, and it's very dark. I mean, it's a cartoon, but it's very dark, but it's funny. It's funny.
Definitely
That,
nothing I should watch with my brother's kids or my sister's
well, yeah.
kids.
How old are they?
The oldest one is 12.
That's probably too young.
Too young.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd
All right.
say I'd say a
I'll be
little bit.
watching that one on my own, and I'll
Yeah,
wait
you probably
until
want
they
to
get
watch that. But
older.
it's pretty rough. But it's funny. But that might give us a blueprint of the what we're looking for.
Hey, I like that. Okay, for research purposes.
Research purposes. That's right. All right. So last thing you mentioned Instagram. Where can we find you on social media?
Mostly Instagram at J Chun Garcia, and I'm also on Twitter too. But yeah, those are the two main ones. So
That's pretty good. I found you pretty easy. That's
look
saying
for the
something.
blue check mark.
Yeah, you had the. I'm so jealous. You had the check mark. Did you do it yourself, or did they do it for you?
No, they did it. I don't even know how you would do that. I still have to Google how to do certain things because
Yeah.
I feel like technology just runs away from me. So
All right. So I lied. I do have a couple quick ones. Are you back to doing conventions? Are you doing any fan shows, anything like that?
I don't have anything scheduled right now because with the pandemic and
Yeah, I know.
waiting until
They
shops
canceled
and stuff
everything.
like
They're
that.
just now starting to reschedule them.
Exactly. So I think like as soon as we've got dates and hopefully those numbers just keep coming down, then we can
Yeah.
get back to actually doing things in person and seeing people and you know,
Won't that be fun?
wouldn't that be?
We'll get around everybody and we'll be like, why do I want to do this?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
All right, so this is my last one. This
Okay.
is just for me. So I've seen you on, like, you're really great. You do a lot of podcasts, which is awesome. But we were the best, right? Right? I don't
Yes.
want to hurt. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'll probably have to cut that out because I don't want to hurt you. I knew. I knew.
I was just trying to answer it like Alexander.
I
Yes.
know. I got it. Yes.
No.
Oh shoot! All right, Jennifer. Hold on. I will hit pause. How great was she? So nice, so nice, and obviously she's under so many restrictions about the Wheel of Time. So she was very gracious and put up with my nonsense to at least semi talk about it a little bit. She did a really good job. I don't think we got her into any trouble. She was really great. So talented. I've been such a fan of hers because she shows up on like all the shows that I watch. It's the best. And I know that we're going to see so much more from her. I'm not surprised that somebody grabbed her for a superhero show because she absolutely fits that. Just like she fits Wheel of Time. Can't wait to see that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Appreciate that you come back week after week. I definitely don't take that for granted. There's so much out there. There's so much out there. Really appreciate that you give us a chance and come back each week. If you haven't done so, it would really help us out if you would go to YouTube MeisterCon Pod and give us a like and a subscription. We'd appreciate that. You can check out all 260 or so episodes of the podcast on our website, meistercon.com, audio and video. We've been so blessed. We have had hundreds of guests. I guarantee you will find a bunch of people that you really like. There'll be people from your childhood. There'll be new up and coming actors. There'll be established people like Jennifer. It's we've been so lucky. I know you'll enjoy that. So please check that out. Thank you guys. Thanks to Jennifer. Until next time. Bye everybody.